It's already past 6:30, and by now the results in Bengal are quite clear, and so are the results in most of the other states. The BJP is headed for a sweeping victory in Bengal, and Bengal will finally be seeing Saffron. The TMC reign of 15 years, as we know it, is over. The final numbers are yet to come in, but the trends and the results are almost clear. So, for a deeper analysis, I have with me my colleagues Ornob and Shojo, who are going to tell us about the numbers and what are the factors that played such a role in this election. So, Ornob, what are some of the factors do you think that played a major role in this election?
Devan, as I told you in the morning, that Bengal usually votes decisively. It's never that and this election, this result is Bengal has spoken decisively, and this vote, it was, we can say very safely now that this vote is entirely against the Trinamool government. It was against Mamata Banerjee and her 15 years of rule, which she came with a lot of promise in 2011. Some of which we can say were kept, some didn't happen. There were plenty of corruption charges against Trinamool leaders over the years, and there was angst over a lot of things. The Arjikor incident. So it's a culmination of all these factors, which I believe has played a role. And so I wasn't sure that the BJP would be able to breach the South Bengal fort that the Trinamool had built for itself, but as we can see, BJP has breached it quite successfully in districts like North 24 Parganas, even South 24 Parganas, Howrah, Burdwan. So it's an absolutely decisive victory, and now let's see what the new government brings for the people of Bengal.
Shojo, what are your thoughts on the decisive elections that we've just?
First of all, I would say this is no, all arithmetic failed because it was a wave against Mamata Banerjee and club that with certain factors, like there was massive Hindu vote consolidation, above 60% across the state. And North Bengal, in North Bengal, BJP already it was on a strong wicket. But South Bengal, there was a curiosity factor. I spoke with certain leaders, political leaders, who told me that in South Bengal, BJP is untested. So when there was anti-incumbency, there was more propensity towards BJP in South Bengal. And if you see rural, about 62 seats where the rural percentage was a little low compared to the other seats, and the Muslim vote was also below 30%. BJP has swept all those seats. And then there were, if you look at pockets, in say Bardhaman Hooghly belt, there were like severe distress among the potato farmers. When I visited they were talking about how Uttar Pradesh farmers are far better off than them. Even not even the farmers, even the cold storage owners, the managers, they were also talking about Uttar Pradesh. And Modi and Amit Shah campaigned on that pitch. And then if you look at the 24 Parganas, there was distress about migration. You cannot offset with Lakshmi Bhandar because you are paying hundreds Lakshmi Bhandar, but thousands, villages after villages in places like Minakha, Shandeshkhali and all those places, they are empty. All the men are working abroad. So these was also a lot of factor, lack of livelihood opportunities and all. And then there was corruption. If you see, in 2021, a lot of people thought that BJP might win, but it was a conjecture based on 2019 Lok Sabha results. But most major scams like the ration scam or the teacher recruitment scam, all those happened after post 2021. That played a major role in denting the TMC's image. So you can look at pocket to pocket issues, and that did the TMC. That's my view. And if you see, there was a lot of clamor about whether the CPIM votes will be going to the BJP or not. CPIM vote, last I checked, was about 4%. They held on to what they had. So it was just simply, a lot of TMC votes went to the BJP. That happens when there is anti-incumbency. And from the BJP's perspective, if you look at it, so they tried their best to shed the Bohiragata outsider tag this time. As we speak, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is wearing a dhoti and addressing the party workers. Anurag Thakur was having fish curry. They were campaigning with fish in their hand, whether Rudronil in Shibpur or Sharad Dutt Mukhopadhyay in Bidhannagar. So they tried to absorb that Bengaliness in them. And compared to 2021, we couldn't see any high-pitched campaign like "A Didi," "O Didi," "Ab ki baar," "Do so par," all those kind of grand statements. They were simply specifically talking about bhai as against Bharosa, Nirmamata ki Sarkar. So they tried to co-opt the Bengaliness into them as much as possible. That these are all the factors that did the TMC in.
So, Arnav, do you think that the TMC got
Before answering your question, before actually listening to your question, I'll just say one thing. BJP is one party which has come to power without actually having a kind of a trajectory in the sense. In 2008, Mamata Banerjee had her first success electorally when she won two Zilla Parishads, South 24 Parganas and East Midnapur. Gradually, then came the Lok Sabha elections and finally the 2011 assembly polls. BJP has never won any Zilla Parishad. BJP has never run any municipality in Bengal. Its governance is Bengal is completely untested. So that would be something interesting again to watch out, seeing what kind of a development model that they talk about in other states they bring over here.
I mean, I guess that kind of leads me to the question, what. So after a long time, the Bengal will finally have a government which is the same as the center.
Yeah.
And the BJP has been elected on a development model. Above all the other promises, it has come on a development model. So, what do you think is in store for West Bengal? How do you see the trajectory of West Bengal changing with the new government?
I cannot say what they have in mind, but I can talk about the expectation of the people of Bengal, those who have voted for them. I think they would be looking for, more employment opportunities, more industries coming by. The Prime Minister here talked about fish production, so maybe these areas where Bengal had its strength or still has its strengths, I think those are areas to be looked into, and let's let the government formed and we will gradually get to see. Bengal doesn't really have a land policy. The last government, the Trinamool government, didn't have a land policy as such. It was very much against acquisition of land. And Bengal is it's otherwise a very small state, very fragmented land holdings. So how BJP navigates that and brings industrialization, it's a big challenge.
So, Shojo, do you think that the TMC government and the TMC leadership got overconfident or complacent in their approach after 2021 and 2024? And what do you think how big of a factor was the SIR? Because that is something that has kind of been at the epicenter of this election.
First of all, I don't think TMC was very much confident going into this election. If you can understand that by Mamata Banerjee's body language, and say Abhishek Banerjee, he has been quiet for the last few days. He just made one statement about Falta. That's it. And I don't think they were, even TMC supporters, I was joking with a few that you people will win 240 seats. They were saying no, I think 180 to 185. So when they are undercutting themselves, so that means they know something is wrong. And the second question that you asked was SIR. SIR, there have been, so first of all, SIR, the discussion is 90 lakh deletions. So you need to keep in mind, out of that, a huge number were dead voters or people who have permanently shifted out of Bengal. So ruling parties, they usually use these voters because their name was on the voter list, and that was what Mamata Banerjee once used to term scientific rigging. You have like 10 to 30, say maybe 200 dead voters in your booth. A ruling party usually casts false votes of 10 to 20 average per booth. And that's a huge number when you add that into an assembly. But this time it wasn't possible because of the central forces and the SIR. Now the under adjudication people, I think it was 27 lakhs. So we can assume that many of them would have got their name in the voter list. Which side they would have voted on, we don't know. As I was telling you, when emotions are at work that I will reject this government, there's severe anti-incumbency, then mathematical calculations doesn't necessarily work. So SIR has been a factor, but a bigger factor, SIR has been a factor against the Trinamool in my opinion. And bigger factors have been the role of observers, the role of the central forces. The election commission was going micro. They were transferring OCs of police stations in Calcutta. So those things played a major role in
out because evidently the communal sentiment has been a pretty big factor in voting this time. And given West Bengal's history of post-poll violence, and polarization is something has gone up in recent years. So how do you see that playing out now?
I won't say communalization. I would rather say a polarization of Hindu votes. Uh, while the election campaign was on, even from the left side, I had some people had told me that there's the polarization of Hindu votes. The extent of it is something unimaginable that hasn't been seen. Though I'll tell you, I've been covering elections in Bengal since 2001. 2014 onwards, Mamata Banerjee always played this card that if the BJP comes to power, Muslim voters they will be targeted, etc. That polarization helped her so far. This time it went against her. As far as we can, so far, whatever little we have seen of the numbers, I think there was some erosion even of the Muslim votes in areas like Malda and Murshidabad, which helped BJP winning a seat like Mothabadi. It's unthinkable otherwise. But along with good governance, maintaining peace and communal harmony is also a challenge for a new government. And given BJP's push for Hindutva, how the BJP tackles that has to be seen.
Last question to you is, will we finally see the end of a party society culture in Bengal?
On the contrary, we might see heightened party society in Bengal because BJP, CPM, these are cadre-based parties. That depends on patronage. So there is a chance that it might increase. There are other factors. I mean, when the CPM lost power, a lot of people from the CPIM in hordes joined the TMC. Will we see that again this time? We don't know. And about the future, Prime Minister Modi had said Sabka Hisab. What did he mean by that? We don't know. And from the new government, expectation would be that you can see, I mean, this government, to be honest, has done a lot in eastern India. If you look at Assam, eastern part of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and all, infrastructure-wise. As we were discussing who will win, there was this Ganga Expressway which was inaugurated a few days back. So now the point is, a lot of infrastructure projects are stuck in Bengal. If you look at the Siliguri corridor, and those are because of land issues. And at the micro level, Chingrihata is stuck, the flyover, the Chingrihata metro work, and it went to the Supreme Court. So for each and everything, any infrastructural thing, the land issues and all, these things need to be sorted for Bengal to develop. And I think Prime Minister Modi just said that Ayushman Bharat will be rolled out in Bengal soon. So there was a lot of friction between the center and the state, especially in Bengal. In Jharkhand, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, there have been cooperative federalism when it's needed. Politics, there has been opposition, but in Bengal, that opposition has been in all spheres of life. So people of Bengal would be expecting that would change. And there also is a narrative you might see that if the BJP comes to power, there will be cultural, societal friction, like whether about imposing vegetarian food, Hindiization. So about that, these are, in my opinion, largely an urban phenomenon. But in rural Bengal, how serious are these issues? We still don't know. So those things, I think, will not be a major problem. But obviously, anyone would want a change. People have voted BJP into power, expecting some change, and it all depends how it plays out. Because BJP has its own style of politics also, imposing certain things. So it all depends. I mean, we don't really know. But as your main question, party society, I doubt whether it will. I mean, it might increase also, given it's a cadre-based party.
There you have it. The BJP will be going into West Bengal with a lot on their shoulders because the people will be expecting a lot given the mandate that they have given, as we've seen in the past, where every time there has been a change in government, it has always, in Bengal especially, it has always been a landslide win. So the people will have pretty high expectations for the BJP government also because this is the first time in a very long time that Bengal will finally have a government which is the same as the center. So can people hope for development? Can people hope for the Poriborton that was promised? Only time will tell.